student ID number 064. So adjudication is basically the process of making a decision in a fair and formal way. It usually happens when there's a competition, a debate, or even a dispute. Someone needs to listen to everything carefully and then decide the results, and that's called adjudication. Now, who is an adjudicator? So, an adjudicator is the person who makes that decision. Their main job is to be fair and neutral. They cannot take sides or be biased. And then an adjudicator listen to both sides, check the facts or the performance, and then compare everything to the rules or criteria, and then decide the outcome. For example, in a debate competition, adjudicator evaluate arguments, delivery, and then teamwork before choosing a winner.
My name is Komang Febi Diah Pramitha with last student ID number 035. Adjudication in debate is guided by several key principles to ensure fairness and accuracy. First, impartiality is the most important principle. An adjudicator must remain neutral and not let personal belief influence their decision. The outcome should depend only on the arguments presented during the debate. Second, adjudication must be argument-based. Judges focus on the quality of arguments, including reasoning and evidence, rather than just confidence or speaking style. Third, adjudicator use comparative analysis or weighing. This means they compare both teams' arguments and decide which side is more convincing and has greater impact. Fourth, engagement and rebuttal are essential. They must respond to each other's arguments, ignoring the opponent weakens a team position. In addition, judges also consider clarity and coherence, which means arguments should be clear and logical and easy to understand. Delivery and communication also play a supporting role, as confident and clear speaking helps convey ideas effectively. Judges also use note-taking or flowing to track arguments and ensure a fair evaluation. Thank you.
And now, I would like to tell you or explain to you about how to give a good oral adjudication. So, when giving a good oral adjudication, the most important thing is to be clear, fair, and structured. An oral adjudication is basically a condensed explanation of the judge's decision after deliberations. And a good way to structure it, first, give the result clearly, so this helps reduce anxiety in the room, and after that, give brief general feedback on things both teams could have done better, especially technical or broad issues like weak engagement, unclear impact analysis, narrow framing, etc. So that feedback should be constructive and specific enough to help speakers improve in future debates. And then the main part of the adjudication should be explaining how you saw the debate. So here you should focus on the major themes or clashes in the round, not just list arguments. Show that you understood both sides, explain where the key disagreements were, and compare the themes based on the issues that actually decided the debate. So if the speakers did not do enough weighing, so you can explain that the judge had to do that comparison themselves. For example, by looking at which harms were bigger, affected more people, or mattered more deeply. So there are also some important steps to avoid. So do not dismiss principle just because practical harms seem clearer. Do not forget material from first speaker if it still stands. Do not reward case served unfairly, especially late in the debate. And do not enter the debate by judging teams on what they could have argued instead of what they actually say. And then finally, be respectful in your language, stay concise, and remember that oral adjudication should make the result understandable, while personal speaker feedback can come afterward.